So, once upon a time, there was a fairy. He was a wish granting fairy, and he was assigned to the king of a small kingdom. He could grant him any wishes so long as they came in a form that was smaller than the fairy. The king wished for much gold and jewelry, make his kingdom more wealthy. He wished for food of exotic kinds to impress his subjects and diplomats. He wished for a beautiful crown, but eventually the king tired of these wishes. He said, "It's too great a restriction, your size. You're too small. There's only so much that I want that's as big as you or smaller." The fairy said to him, "Well, king, you're just not being clever enough. I promise you that despite the restriction of my size, through me you can have anything you want." This reply frustrated the king, but it also got him to contemplate what might he be missing. What what does this fairy mean by this? The king tossed and turned thinking about this. He talked to his royal advisors about it, and the most cunning of his advisors said, "Well, king, I think the situation is clear. You ask the fairy for a magical wand. That wand will be able to grant you any wish you want, just with no restriction. If this fairy really is able to grant any wish smaller than him, then this should work. You should be able to do this." And the king thinks this makes sense. I think that this is probably what the fairy was getting at. And so, the next time he sees the fairy, he says, "Fairy, I wish for a wishing wand. One about your size that can grant me any wish I want." The fairy the fairy's face grows stern. He says, "Oh, you selfish king. I told you that in hopes that you would learn contentedness. You're already a king after all. You can get as much wealth as you want. And if you keep chasing more and more things, you will actually never be satisfied." And with that, the fairy disappeared and was never seen by the king or anyone in the palace ever again. The end.